Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today I am going to discuss about ABM, Advanced Bank Management, recalled questions from exam dated 26/11/23 and the latest exam. These are the now presently we are conducting for JAIIB, CAIIB online classes for May and June examination. Interested members are requested to contact on this number. Trend analysis. These are the questions from 26/11 ABM. Question number 1, trend analysis. At the time of processing of the proposals, bank set out the following methodology. Number 1, trends of sales. In the sales, what is the trend? Either increasing, last year to this year increasing or decreasing trend. Operating profit, last year to this year increasing or decreasing. Profit before tax, profit after tax from P&L. These sales, operating profit, profit after tax. Common size statements. Common size statements means the assets or liabilities are going to be shown in the balance sheet in the percentage terms. Out of total assets, what is the net worth percentage? Out of the total liabilities, what is the percentage of long time? Out of total liabilities, what is the percentage of current liabilities? Same manner, total assets, fixed assets, current assets, percentages, this ratio analysis. Again, ratio also, gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, P&L ratios and balance sheet ratios. Through this, bankers are analyzing the proposals. This is called trend analysis. Section 2, subsection 40, Company Act 2013, financial statements, balance sheet, P&L, cash flow statement, statement of changes in liquidity. These four are the financial statement as per Company Act section 2 subsection 40. This question. Number 3, a cash flow statement is not required. Not required to prepare for small companies, startup companies, dormant companies, one-person companies. Cash flow statement is not required for a small company, startup company, dormant company, one-person company. This. Question number 3. Question number 4, inhalation risk. This risk arising from possibility of regulatory action. Regulator, RBI, SEBI, IRDA. Regulator taking action, closing down the business of that institute, that organization. That is very serious in nature. Inhalation risk, that is there. Question number 5, unreconciled debit entries in the nostro account. Nostro account means Indian banks are maintaining correspondent account, foreign currency account with other countries, other branches, other countries. Unreconciled debit entries. Bank shall make 100% provision in respect of all unreconciled debit entries more than 2 years. In nostro accounts, unreconciled debit more than 2 years. This is 100% provision bank has to make. This is. Now presently we are discussing ABM. ABM question paper, recalled question 26/11/23. Question number 6, ABM recalled questions 26/23 examination. Accounting standard 5, AS5, net profit or loss for the period. Prior period items. Prior period items are changes in accounting policy during the current year. They have to disclose in this accounting standard 5. Accounting standard 9, revenue recognition. Revenue. The standard required that in addition to the disclosures required by accounting standard number 1, an enterprise, a company, firm should also disclose the circumstances in which revenue recognition has been postponed pending the resolution of significant uncertainties. Because of some uncertainties, revenue recognition has been postponed. This is Accounting Standard 9. Again, one more important question. Related party transactions. Accounting Standard 18. Ind AS 24. Ind AS 24. Related party account. 8th. Compliance functions in banks. Which committee was recommended? Which committee was noted? Which committee was? That is the meaning of this question. Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. BCBS document. April 2005. Essentially articulate the perception of compliance function in banks. This is the first committee. Basel Committee on Banking document. Risk perception of compliance functions means which committee recommended means BCBS. This is the question. Very difficult question. 9th question. Duties and responsibility of CCO as head of compliance function. Duties. Chief Compliance Officer. To conduct assessment of the compliance risk. To conduct assessment of the compliance risk at least once in a year. To ensure compliance of supervisory observation made by RBI during that period. To report promptly to the Board of Directors, Audit Committee of the Board, MD and CEO of the bank. To periodically report on compliances failure, breaches, what are the non-compliances to the Board ACB, circulating the concerned functional heads. This is about the very important module C, D, ABF. This is. Now we are discussing advanced bank management recalled questions. So 26, 11, 23. 9th question. 10th question. NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, core banking solution implementation. NBFC having with 10 or more branches are mandated to adopt core banking solution. For that they are giving a 3 years time from 1st October 22. 1st October 22 to 3 years time they are giving for full implementation of core banking. 11th, minimum amount of default required for filing cases with DRT 20 lakhs and above. 20 lakhs and above. With the NCLT for filing case, referring the cases with NCLT, default amount for companies and LLP 1 crore and above. PPIRP, pre-packed insolvency resolution process for MSME companies, units 10 lakhs and above. For filing cases under Lok Adalat, referring cases less than 20 lakhs. If the Lok Adalat is organizing by DRT, about 20 lakhs also, no limit. This is about the recovery. 12th question, committee recommended for merger of banks, nursing home committee recommendation. Nursing home committee recommendation. 13, laws applicable to all these different kinds of borrowers are different. Now what question they had given in the individuals are governed by which act? Indian Contract Act. Individuals are governed by which act? Indian Contract Act. Partnership firm governed by Partnership Act 1932. LLPs are regulated by LLP Act 2008. HUF Hindu Section Act. Companies by Companies Act. So exam question they had asked, individuals are governed by which act? Indian Contract Act. Extension, partnership, 1932 partnership for LLP. This is about 13 question. Now where you are discussing advanced bank management. Recalled question from the exam data 26/11/23. Risk-based internal audit allows internal audit to provide internal audit done by internal staff member to provide assurance to the board of directors that risk management process are managing effectively in relation to risky aptitude of the bank. So they are managing the risk effectively that they are reporting to board. 15. Compliance functions for overseas establishment. Suppose some banks are having foreign branches. Or how they can do the compliances? Attention of getting monthly certificates, confirmations on position of regulatory violations, enforcement actions, imposition of penalties if any. And a monthly statement they have to get violations in compliance, enforcement actions, this. For non-compliance issues by overseas branches they have to take. Obtention of quarterly report to head office in respect of any new regulations emerging compliance issue. Any new regulations or came into that overseas establishment, that also they have to take into consideration. This is about the compliance functions of the banks which are situated in other countries. 16. Current assets are 60 lakhs. Current ratio 2:1. 2 is equal to 660 lakhs. 1 is equal to 330 lakhs. Net working capital. Current assets 660 minus current liability 330. So net working capital is equal to current assets minus current liability. 660 minus 330, 330. This question was asked without option. Direct question without. Fixed cost 20,000. Fixed cost 20. Selling price per unit 30. Variable cost 10 rupees per unit. What is the contribution? Selling price unit 30 minus variable cost 10. No. Contribution 20. Fixed cost by contribution. Break-even point. Break-even point in units. Fixed cost 20,000 divided is units. Various types of risk. Credit risk, default risk, non-repayment risk, rating downgraded. Market risk, fluctuations in currencies, fluctuations in rate of interest, fluctuations in investment prices. Liquidity, ALM gap, unable to meet the payment obligation. This. Operational risk, system failures, non-compliance, frauds, hacking, all this comes under operational risk. Compliance risk, just now we have discussed. Country risk, part of credit risk. Country risk is also comes under credit risk. Question number 19. ABM record question 26/11/23. What is this question? LC limit calculation. That is consumption import of raw material in a year 6 crores. Company importing of raw material under LC 6 crores. Lead time and transit period 1 month. So document submission, exchange plus transportation period 1 month for each LC. Usage period for each LC they are giving 6 months. And export is giving time for repayment of the LC 6 months. Economic order quantity means the company is placing the order only in 1 crore. Each 1 crore, that is there. Each LC 1 crore. The frequency of opening of LC is every 2 months. Every 2 months they are issuing 1 LC, that is 1 crore each. That is the meaning. Economic order quantity means where the ordering cost to, transportation cost to, storing cost to, interest will low. That is there. 1 cycle is equal 1 month plus 6 months, 7 months. It means that any point of time there will be 4 LCs. How? 7 divided by each frequency 2. So 3.5 it will come. So if we can round to next higher figure, 4 LCs at a time outstanding will be there. 4 LC into each LC 1. So LC limit will give 4 crores. On an average you will give 4 crores LC. This is also LC limit calculation. Generally this question is giving in ABM, BFM also they are giving. This is about the LC limit calculation. Next, they are asked long-term uses. ABM record questions exam 26/11/23. This question they are given in the exam. I am discussing all the related points. Indicative format of fund flow statement for the bankers. Sources of funds, uses of funds. Long-term sources, long-term inflows, increase in equity, equity issue, increase in reserves, net worth, increase in long-term borrowings. That is also inflow of funds. Decrease in non-current assets and sale of fixed assets. Sale of fixed assets, decrease. This is called long-term sources, subtotal. Short-term sources. Increase in short-term borrowing, bank borrowings. Bank borrowings increase, sources short term. Decrease in current assets, source, subtotal. Long term uses. This question that are actually what is the examination question? This question. Long term uses ante what are there? Decrease in equity and repayment, release, redemption of preference shares అన్నీ వస్తాయి. Decrease in reserves, utilization of reserves, withdrawn the reserves, decrease in long term borrowings means long term borrowings repaid by the company. Increase in non current assets means fixed assets purchase. Here you are purchasing fixed asset, that is use outflow of fund, subtotal. Short term uses or outflow of funds. Decrease in short term borrowings, and you had repaid the short term borrowings. Part of the amount you had repaid, that is decrease. Increase in current assets, so uses. Increase means he purchased more current assets when compared to last year. This. And one more thing, for calculation of source of funds and use of funds, inflow of funds, application of funds, we need two balance sheets, two different period balance sheets. Then comparison only we can do. This is my brief presentation on recalled questions exam dated 26/11/23. Thank you very much for all for extending support to our channel. Thank you very much for all.